John Lennon's voice was out. He couldn't do this one high part. And he said, when it comes to that part, shake your heads. The girls will scream and nobody will care.
I've been looking forward to this for a long time. I'm so excited to have you guys here.
It is fantastic. We see you all the time. We tune in as much as we possibly can while we're traveling all over the place.
Well, that's something I want to start with.
Yeah.
You guys are not slowing down. 150 dates last year? Are you kidding me?
Probably 160 this year.
Unbelievable. Well, I mean, there are bands who've been around a little while.
Yeah.
There are very few bands anywhere, country, pop, rock, no matter the genre of music. They're not playing that many dates, which tells me, Bruce, you guys are still having a lot of fun.
This is definitely for real fun. I'm also paying off grad school for 4 sons. It really is true.
Well, all you need to do is just wait for Bernie. He's going to give it all free, so then you'll be fine. So you don't have to worry about a thing. It's all going to be free.
Oh, my goodness. Is that an endorsement?
No. You got me on that one.
No.
Now, Bruce, you have lived in California a long time, but my understanding is you wouldn't mind coming to Nashville and living again because you've been here before.
I lived in Brentwood, and the house is facing the wrong way. I know that's stupid to say. The sun was, so I was selling it. Anyway, I decided now that everyone's out of school and working, thank you, 4 boys, I'm going to come down to Brentwood again.
Wow.
It's a nice area.
How about that? Well, I want to talk about the extraordinary music.
Governor, I don't want to forget.
Yes?
Our time is very precious and all too short. But I have this book called Good Vibrations, My Life as a Beach Boy. And I wrote in here, on account of you're the newest member of our group.
Nice.
Yeah. To Governor Huckabee, good vibrations, a real pleasure. Love, Mike, love.
Thank you.
How's that?
I am honored. Thank you, sir.
You are welcome.
You know, the book, Good Vibrations, is a great place to talk about. That song was monumental in that it was different than anything, not only that the Beach Boys had done, but that was an incredibly breakthrough song for rock and roll music.
It really was. It was avant-garde in 1966, and it still is. Ahead of its time. I mean, it's unusual.
You helped write that song. So what was going on in your head when you were putting that song together?
It was 1966, and in parts of California, there was a lot of, herbal things going on. And
that's the nicest way I think I've ever heard that said.
Anyway, so I wrote it from the perspective of a girl, a hippie girl who was all into peace, love, and flower power and stuff like that. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. I love the colorful clothes she wears and the way the sunlight plays upon the hair. Now, Brian had this track put together from different studios, and the composite, we're finally ready to do the single. And it took him a few months to get it to that point. But then I wrote the words, I dictated the words on the way to the studios. I'm driving in an XKA, by the way.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding.
You mean they just spontaneously came to you?
It spontaneously, I was terrified because I had to get the words to the, that same, within an hour to the studio. So I procrastinate sometimes. But it came out great.
You think? One of the greatest songs of all time.
You know what?
Absolutely.
66, in the strength of good vibrations, we were voted the #1 group in Great Britain. Number 2 being the Beatles. Which that, mop tops.
There was always this talk that there was a friendly and healthy competition between the Beatles and the Beach Boys.
We love what they did. They apparently love what we did.
I've read books about the Beatles, how they envied you guys. And when Pet Sounds came out, they were just blown away. And they said, we got to go do something. And they ended up with Sgt. Pepper's. But it was Pet Sounds and what the Beach Boys did that kind of made them think, we better step it up.
And Rolling Stone did a coffee table book saying the #1 album of rock of all time in rock was Sgt. Pepper's, and number 2 was Pet Sounds. Other than demanding a recount, that's pretty good. That's pretty good company right in there.
But you had an ongoing relationship with them. When you guys would get together, did you talk music?
Talked about cars and girls.
Cars, girls.
I swear.
Yeah.
We met them in Portland, and John Lennon's voice was out. He couldn't do this one high part. And he says, when it comes to that part, shake your heads. The girls will scream and nobody will care. But we talked about, my cousin Carl had an Aston Martin. I loved the Rolls Royce and the Jaguars and all that kind of stuff. We were Anglophiles when it come to cars.
Yeah. And Bruce, you've been with the band since 1965. You came in at a time Brian had kind of retired from the touring part, and Glenn Campbell, which a lot of people don't know this, but Glenn Campbell, an Arkansas guy, let me throw that in there. Delight, Arkansas, not far from where I grew up. And he needed to get back in the studio, and that's when you came to the Beach Boys, been with them ever since.
Well, I was working at a record label, Columbia Records, as a producer, and Mike called me to find out if I knew anybody. And I called 10 people. And I finally said, well, okay, I'll meet you in New Orleans. I know the words. And the part.
You didn't expect this to be like a lifetime gig, huh?
Well, it's the best thing. Well, I write songs too, but it's the best thing that ever happened to me for performing.
Let's not be too modest, Bruce. You don't just write some songs. Yeah. How many people here know that the Barry Manilow anthem, I Write the Songs? This guy right here wrote that song. Yeah. He wrote that.
Well,
Bruce has the Grammy for songwriting on that one. I don't have a Grammy for songwriting.
Governor, how about a midnight confession?
Oh, what's that?
Would you like to know
Grassroots?
Would you like to know what I Write the Songs is about?
I would love to know what that's about.
This is what was in my head. I Write the Songs is basically an interview of God, like this way. God, tell me about yourself. Well, I've been alive forever, and I wrote the very first song, etc. So now you know.
Isn't that nice? Amazing.
Hey.
Whoa.
I never
really resonates.
I think, Trey, maybe you should do that in church next week.
Yeah.
Never thought of it as a hymn.
Yeah,
but,
It's not a hymn, it's just an idea.
But it's a great idea.
It's a great idea.
We hear the words of songs sometimes, and we don't really know where it came from. I think that's pretty powerful.
Well, I know where it comes from.
Of course you do. But I mean, I think that's significant that in writing songs, whether it's Good Vibrations, I Write the Songs, so many that you've done. Mike, you did a solo record, 12 Sides of Summer.
12 Sides of Summer. That's because there's 12 songs on it, and they're all summer friendly.
Yeah, but it wasn't just that you did it, but George Harrison, ABBA, the Ramones, all part of that? I mean,
yes. The Ramones were a punk group that did Surf and Safari way back when. And we did their song, Rockaway Beach, and we loved doing it in concert. It's got so much energy. But we got a chance to do Here Comes the Sun. Beautiful George Harrison.
Beautiful song.
10 song. And our musical director, Scott Totten, did the entire arrangement. And he did kind of a bossa nova feel. So it's very beautiful. I love doing it.
You guys influenced everybody, but who influenced you?
Everybody. If you think about it, everybody.
Yeah, but I mean, there had to be
mentioned
some people.
Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
Chuck Berry and the way he did his lyrics. When I got on the city bus and found me a vacant seat, I thought I saw my future bride walking down the street. I shouted to the driver, hey, conductor, you must slow down. I think I see her. Please let me off this bus. And so, well, she got her daddy's car and she cruised through the hamburger stand now. Seems she forgot all about the library like she told her old man now. She with the radio blasting goes cruising just as fast as she can. That's fun. Chuck Berry influenced the way I wrote some of the up-tempo songs. Yeah.
Music is transformational for people.
Yes, it is.
I've spent the last 25 years trying to get musical instruments in the hands of kids because it changes people's lives. Mm-hmm. If you had not been able to do music, what would have been the story of Bruce Johnston and Mike Love?
I probably would have been in the record business on an executive level, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have. If it weren't for guys like Mike and Brian, I wouldn't be writing songs. Imagine, I joined the band, I'm sitting around there writing California Girls, all this stuff, and then just one day that little epiphany light went on, and I Write the Songs, Being around guys like that sure helped.
I want to tell you what a thrill, personally and in every other way, it is to have you here.
Thank you.
You have made our day. We hope you come back. And now we're going to let you do some music for us. How's that?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Can't wait.
I think we should.
All right.
Mike Love, Bruce Johnston, the Beach Boys. Now, you can find the Beach Boys music, also get their touring schedule which is unbelievable. You can get a lot more on their website, beachboys.com. Catch a wave with the Beach Boys on February the 19th in Orlando, Florida, on the 20th in Melbourne, Florida, on the 26th in Atlanta at the Cobb Energy Performing Arts Center.